be in two places at one time, engineering our serendipity, yes. Are we simultaneously spending money while we make money? Also, yes. Is this where you burn money hoping to get money back? No. This is where you host a user conference where you're not just saying, use my product, you're saying, look at the people who chose great choices before you even heard about any kind of API. Where you're bending time to not just say, hi, nice to meet you. Would you like to pay me some money? You're saying, these are people that had met us prior and they made salient points mentally. Now they're benefiting from better operations for business. How are you guys doing? It's great to hang out with you in a YouTube Live, where we get to do what types of things? One, explore things that they don't teach us in school. Two, explore how real-world tuition works, both from a attendee standpoint and from an event production standpoint. Three, coming up with an agenda and a syllabus where we extrapolate how to best help other people get return on investment. Four, the counterintuitive truth of when we spend money, how quickly that comes back to us. Because in school, we're taught this. Go into debt, spend money on tuition, and hope that what you've learned becomes valuable. We don't wait for return on investment. We don't wait for money to come back. What we're doing is we're engineering serendipity. What we're doing is we're making the money transfer happen like it's a magic trick. What's the magic trick of real world tuition? This is what it is. What if instead of spending $800, you think to yourself, before I spend hard currency of $800, what if I were to get $3,000 back? That's what we're discussing using software, because for a long time now, software ate the world. Am I at SailPoint for a 4-day conference that's jaw-droppingly useful from an identity verification standpoint, where from a business operations standpoint, best practices from a business operation standpoint, being able to do an audit combined with a turnaround. Is Puppy with me? Also, yes. Is this a confab, conference fabulous? Yes. Because when you're saying, I need help, what you're really saying is, can I get your attention? What you're really saying also is, what if we put pen to paper while we're at a show before next year's show, which is October 12th through October 16th? Because that's 2026. Right now, it's September 29, September 30, October 1, and then October 2, which is wrapping up on Thursday. How are you guys doing? It's good to hang out with you. It's good to connect on a live stream where you're thinking to yourself, there's a role that is a job that is someone else risking money to up and train you, which there always is that component. But what if you mitigated some of that risk? What if you didn't think from a mindset and mind frame of, I want the job? Because you're thinking what a job is what? Is somebody paying you middle six figures or low six figures to solve a slew of problems. And this is absolutely financial advice, which is reading ahead in the book. Okay, there are YouTube channels, and what they do is they tell you what happens in a movie while reviewing a movie. Then they say plot spoiler. In work, all we want to do is plot spoiling. Why? Because people who run ahead and solve problems are going to be labeled as jerks because they step on toes and they interrupt what you expect. Where what this is a combination of counterintuitive truths, which is 1, SailPoint, 2, Web 12, 3, it's Toy Story 5. This is the Toy Story stamp. What does Buzz Lightyear have to do with SailPoint technology? And how does Toy Story 5 combine to it? What those three identify, SailPoint pun intended, is being able to identify that Buzz Lightyear has a film coming out on June 18th. 2, being able to identify that October 12th to 15 is going to be the JW Marriott. Will you be able to organize solutions for companies before that date arrives? 3, can you plan ahead with information that 50,000 other people have not prior agreed? Look at how few a number of people are watching this video. Look at how unpopular this channel is, where I believe this content is top-notch stuff that they don't teach you in school. Where let's look at Singapore and SailPoint Singapore show, or Las Vegas October 29 to 31. That's also SailPoint. What problems do you think that you could solve prior to Las Vegas or Singapore? 2, have you looked at working as a standpoint of not what you're getting paid, but of the slew of problems that you're solving? 3, have you looked at how reading ahead in an agenda or a syllabus ends up making people wonder, oh my God, I don't want to do that kind of work. Or who does that? Or You're not even that popular. Are you sure you're correct? See, by the time other people begin to do this, it'll already kind of be too late, which is the whole point of a SailPoint user conference is you want to be able to share with people, hey, this is what happens when you are an early adopter. Hey, this is what happens when you are recognizing how to self-study, proactively implement, and map out your product roadmap, where you're combining this conference with 14 chapters of a book called Product Management Playbook, where we're connecting in a way where a lot of people end up saying, can't stop, won't stop, change stop. But what we're doing, if you've never been to a Larry Chang video before, is this. You're showing people how the future looks. See, the future's here already. It's just not evenly distributed. The future of SailPoint is prominent. It's just not mapped out the way that I've mapped it out for you. And I haven't mapped out the integrations of SailPoint into TransUnion, which we should as an external API. This is probably the 5,000th time I've walked through this. And this is a free vacation. This is one free vacation. What Pumpkin said, this is what happens when you take notes in a Larry Chang live stream. I'm not going to say this stuff is so easy because that seems to be demoralizing. What I will say is set the bar for YouTube incredibly high, meaning you're going to demand of YouTube. Oh, wait, you guys don't pay for YouTube. All right, this is what we're going to do. Now, what I was going to have you do is I was going to have you pay $800 a month in YouTube. Oh, actually, this is what we're going to do. You're going to pay an imaginary $800 per month, $200 per week. And if you don't make $200 by the end of this week, it's Tuesday already. If you don't make $200 by the end of this week, or $800 by the end of the month, and the end of the month, that's coming in 12 hours. With the materials you guys have, you should be able to make $800 before this month ends. But let's just say that you want to do it for October. What you're trying to do is you're trying to monetize a library card, meaning it costs you $0. What you're trying to encapsulate is a sense of urgency because this YouTube Live, it costs you $0. And I get the feeling that you've gotten $0 of financial benefit. Feel free to paste copy what I'm doing to get an ROI for these 5 things. 1, SailPoint User Conference, Singapore. 2, Austin City Limits. 3, Miami Art Basel. 4, you can pay your YouTube Premium. 5, you can simulate having paid $800 a month in a newsletter subscription. In fact, you should be charging $200 to $800 per subscriber with a full-on money-back guarantee, because are you guys using AI? Are you guys using Web 12? Do these videos get compiled and scored and scripted and transcribed? Because when you benefit from my curation, when you benefit from the date that I've established, which is June 18th for Toy Story, you should be able to make a single-digit number of $100. Because making $0 with this whole thing just being theoretical makes these videos less hard-hitting, and you're not monetizing what I deem to be the most valuable content on YouTube. No more pressure, no more pressure, no more pressure. Let's just hang out. So, James Nestor just did an interview with Tim Ferriss yesterday. That is in my socials, James Nestor, Tim Ferriss. You should be able to take James Nestor's book and financially benefit from it in the same way that we've discussed taking a $20 book and making significantly more than $20. How? Well, in minute number 23, Tim Ferriss talks about how he can't use a CPAP machine, constrained pressurized air pressure. So, not being able to use a CPAP machine, that means early death. Where we can ask for a brand new book that Larry Cheng has written, or we can say, why don't we transcribe this YouTube video to sell for dozens of dollars? Right? You like that? I love that. What are we going to do for homework? This is what we're going to do. We're going to comment the Tim Ferriss, James Nestor video link to an old Larry Cheng video. And then from that, you're going to see how I make for you $50 to $500, and I'll just give it to you.